So you wrote a book. Now what? If you want to actually sell, you need affiliates. The truth is, books don't magically fly off the shelves. Even the best sellers have a small army behind them promoting it. In today's episode, I'll walk you through how I found affiliates for my book and how you can do the same for your launch, whether it's a book, a course, or anything else. If you're ready to take your affiliate program and your business to the next level, well, you're in the right place. I'm Matt McWilliams, best-selling author and 4-time Affiliate Manager of the Year, and I've built dozens of affiliate programs from the ground up to over $1 million a month. I'm here to show you how you can do it too. Let's get started. So I am in book mode right now. I am in full out book mode. In addition to everything else going on in our company, and actually both of my companies, I'm running 3 book launches for clients. I'm excited to tell you about those coming up, one of which we're working with some people like Brad Paisley and Dierks Bentley, Scott Hamilton, the figure skater, some other just amazing people, Alan Jackson. If you like country music, you're going to like this book. And it's not about country music. Those just happen to be some of the people involved. It's really cool. But not only are we running those 3 book launches and everything else going on in our companies, I have my book, my new book, the book on affiliate management it's depending upon when this airs, it's either live or it's just about to go live. And you can check that out, by the way, at affiliatemanagementbook.com, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes. It's probably live by the time this airs. So I'm going through that right now. I am in full book mode, and we have some amazing people lined up who are going to promote the book. And that's what we're talking about today, is promoting a book using affiliates. Now, everything that we talk in this episode in terms of promoting a book launch, it really applies to any product launches. Now, there's some nuances we'll talk about in this episode that are specific to books, and there's some stuff coming up in the next few episodes that are specific to books, but everything we're going to talk about is relevant to any type of launch. But we are going to spend the next 3 or 4 episodes talking specifically about books. And so that I know, like, this month is kind of like book month, I guess, right? And we're going to talk about first how to find affiliates for your book launch. That's what today's episode is all about. And the next one, we're going to talk about how to actually run an affiliate book launch. And then we're going to talk about how to use affiliate marketing in a book. So I actually had to take a book, I'll just tell you, like, I'm making $4 a book, with all the fees and stuff, not a ton of money. So how do I make an extra buck? How do I make an extra $2-3? Or how to make an extra, $30 a book through affiliate marketing and through some other stuff? That's what the next, this whole episode's about, or this whole series is about, sorry. But that's what the next couple of episodes about. So what follows is a private training I did a few years ago for a mastermind all about book marketing. So these are people who've, they have written books and they are looking to get affiliates for those books. And so again, it's specifically about book marketing, but the principles apply to pretty much any product. So again, this is a private training I did. I think it was back in mid-2002, early 2002, somewhere in there. And that's what you're getting ready to hear. So let's jump right in. I've just been getting a lot of questions. People ask, like, they've written a book, they're all excited to launch it, but they realize they just don't have that many people promoting it. So the reality is that you want affiliates for your book launch. The question, of course, is how do you get them? And that's what this episode's all about. I've been fortunate enough. I've worked on tons of book launches. Awesome people, Lewis Howes, Brian Tracy. I just mentioned Mark Miller, Jeff Goins, Ray Edwards. We've run their book launches. I've ran, close to a little bit over a dozen. I think I've probably run like 14 or 15 book launches over the years. Peter Voog is another one that comes to mind. Trevor Blattner. We've helped so many people with their book launches. We've helped multiple authors achieve a #1 bestseller status, whether it be on Amazon. We've hit #2 on the Wall Street Journal list. We've hit #1 multiple times on Amazon. I know Jeff Goins' book, The Real Artists Don't Starve, was #1 in multiple categories. I think to date, we've probably helped authors sell close to 500,000 books, 500,000 books. So how do you get affiliates involved in your book launch? And again, these principles apply to almost any type of product launch. I'm going to show you how to do that in this episode. So first, I'm going to start with the basics that apply whether you're launching a book or a product, and then I'm going to get more specific to books in particular as we go along. So the number one thing we do, this is Affiliate Recruiting 101, is look for affiliates who promoted similar books and products. You want to start by looking for people who promoted books that are similar. Now, you can use Google to do this. Just go to Google. I don't think anybody actually goes to Google anymore, but you go up to the, the top, right? What is that called where you type in URLs and search things? I don't even know what that's called. I literally have no idea. I'll have to look that up later. And you type in books that are similar to yours, and you find affiliates who promoted those similar books, those similar products. Again, if you're doing a product launch, we've talked about this before, you find people who promoted similar products. Then you reach out to those people and ask if they'd be interested in sharing your book with their audience. I've got a whole post that shows you how to actually do that. I'm not going to go through that whole thing. I'll put a link in the show notes. But basically, you go online, you find those affiliates. We have some affiliate recruiting swipe files that we'll include the link to. You use those emails that we give you in the affiliate recruiting swipe files. Use those, use the tools that we share in the post. There's numerous tools. They're constantly changing. I think in this video, there's one that I don't even mention that we now use called Clearbit Connect. It's a Gmail plugin that we use that's phenomenal for finding email addresses. You send those potential affiliates an email and basically ask them if they're interested in promoting your book, if that's something that would serve their audience. Again, you don't have to write the world's most perfect email. I've got sample emails that you can use in the affiliate recruiting swipe files. Make sure you use those sample emails. Those have been tested and split tested and refined literally over 15 years. We kind of locked them down about 2 years ago. We continue to test, but they haven't gotten any better. But it took me about 14 or 15 years to kind of figure out exactly what works, the exact language that they are tested and proven to work. And so the other way you can do this is to use Amazon. And I call this follow the Amazon rabbit trail. So I'm going to do this literally live. You can't see this, here on the podcast, but you can picture what I'm doing. I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to go to books, and I'm going to look up my books. I'm going to look up Mark Miller's book, Smart Leadership. This is one we recently did. And I'm going to open the book in Amazon, and I'm going to scroll down. Amazon makes it so easy. Explore similar books, products related to this item. People who bought this also bought. And so I'm going to go up here just to the, explore similar books. Now, you could look for similar books by that author, because Mark's written like 10 books. But I'm just going to open up The Advantage is one by Patrick Lencioni. A great book, by the way. Oh my goodness, I love that book. That was a book that really, really, really helped me over the past year see, because when that book come out, I think it came out about 10 years ago, but I finally listened to it in 2020. It was like right in the middle of the the height of the pandemic, summer of 2020, roughly. And I made a conscious choice in 2021 to focus on leadership. The basis of the book is why the organization, why your culture and, your health of the organization beats everything else, beats marketing, beats all this stuff. So anyway, I'm sorry for that rabbit trail there. But speaking of the Amazon rabbit trail, now I'm talking about books that I love. All right, so I look up The Advantage and I go find, who promoted The Advantage. Now I can go back to the Smart Leadership book and see, what other books here, maybe not by, great, Traction by Gino Wickman and published by Ben Bella. One of my absolute favorite books. All of Gino's books are amazing. So I can keep following the rabbit trail, because now from Traction, I can go down to products related to this item. People who bought this also bought, right? And I can go, now we're going to go to the Business Playbook. And I'm going to look up people who, they're LinkedIn Riches by my friend John Nemo. Awesome. I'll have to tell him about that. Lead Well by Ken Falk. And I'm going to go down that rabbit trail. And I'm going to keep finding books, going down the Amazon rabbit trail, looking up to see who promoted these books. And the thing is, for most of us, if you're J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter, you don't need to do this. But for most of us who maybe aren't, I have no delusions of grandeur. I'm going to just break the
The heartbreaking news to myself here, my book's probably not going to have 250,000 pre-orders. And we'll talk about why pre-orders are so important. Reality is, our goal is 25,000 copies. I want to do 25,000 pre-orders, and that is a stretch goal. Statistically, if you look at what we have, I'm probably going to do in the neighborhood of 16 to 17.5. That's what the numbers look like. And if you look at my advance that I got from the publisher and all of the stuff, that's pretty much what they're projecting as well. Somewhere in that like 15,000 to 17,500 books. I think it's more like 16 to 17.5. So 25,000 is a stretch goal. So my point to that is this. I don't necessarily need to be looking at who promoted the biggest books. I don't need to be looking at the podcast necessarily that might have moved 4,000 and 5,000 books, although I will try to get on those. But I want to look at, who promoted some of these books, Build a Business, Not a Job. Who promoted some of these books that maybe you haven't heard of that might have only sold 5,000, 6,000 copies, but 3,000 or 4,000 of them were sold by affiliates. Those are great books to look at. And I'm basically going to go down the Amazon rabbit trail. I'm going to go search for that book, see who promoted it. I'm going to probably find anywhere from 5 to 25 affiliates per book, and I'm going to reach out to them. And the message is essentially going to say, and again, we've got the copy paste templates, but it's essentially going to say, I saw that you promoted, let me see, I'm going to, subject line, David Finkel, because he wrote Build a Business, Not a Job. Hey, Joe, I saw that you promoted Build a Business, Not a Job by David Finkel when it came out a few years ago. I've got a new book called, Mark Miller has a new book called Smart Leadership. Would you be interested in promoting it? That's the gist of the message, all right? It's not the whole message, but you get the idea. So we're going to follow that rabbit trail. You can just literally just keep going. And when we do it, we'll end up with hundreds of books and thousands of affiliates that we reach out to. Now, of course, the key is you got to start doing this. Like we're doing this for my January book launch. We're doing this now. We are starting this now. If we wait until even June of this year to do it, 6-7 months out, there's just not enough time. Could we get 100 affiliates? Sure. But can I get the 300 or 400 that I want? No. We just won't have time. So that's how you start, right? I mean, that's the easiest way because you don't have to know anybody. And Amazon makes it so easy. It's not like the old days where you had to kind of like be like, okay, go type in leader. I say the old days, like 10 years ago. You had to go like type in leadership books, like find a bunch of lists. No, I mean, literally, if all you did, this is really fun. When you go to the products related to this item, often the very first one, let me scroll back here and see if it does with this one. Yeah, I mean, on 1, 2. So of all of these, on 3 of the 4, it does this. It lists the book that's just released as the first one. So a just released book means that somebody's promoting it like right now or weeks ago. Great time to reach out to them versus, hey, I saw where you promoted this book from 9 years ago. In this example, truth be told, Traction came out about 10 years ago as well, but 8, 9, 10 years ago. So did The Advantage. I might not use those as the best examples because the book came out 9 years ago. Hey, I saw you interview this guy 9 years ago. And so that's not necessarily your best example of something. And so we typically would limit it when we're doing it. We would limit it to, something in the last 4 or 5 years. Typically. So, I Love It Here is the name of a book, How Great Leaders Create Organizations Their People Never Want to Leave. Clint Pulver, no idea who this guy is, but it was published April 13th, 2021. I want to know who promoted that book if I'm, and that's one of the ones that we picked for Smart Leadership. So it just makes sense, right? Amazon makes it so easy to find these books. You just keep going down that rabbit trail. The second way that you can find affiliates for your books is ask your friends. This is the lowest hanging fruit. Like these are the people you should reach out to. I started reaching out before I even had a publisher. I think I even had a few before I even finished the first draft of the manuscript. And so don't overlook these people that you know. They're going to be motivated to make sure your launch goes well because of your relationship with them. They're going to promote it because it's you. You'll have friends who maybe they're not in a niche that's necessarily relevant to your niche, but they'll promote it anyway. I will have people who are in all kinds of niches that are promoting my book. And the message they're going to be saying is, hey, I realize this isn't for all of you, but this guy helped me build my business in the niche that I'm in, fill in the blank. So if you're interested in starting an online business, this is the guy to learn from. Go get the book. Their audience, they might be in the parenting niche. They might be in the personal growth niche. They might be in the health niche. They might, be in all kinds of niches that have nothing to do with starting an online business, but a percentage of their audience will fit. And so they're going to promote the book because it's me. Maybe some of these are coaching clients and things like that, or just friends. They're going to promote it because it's me, not because they necessarily think it's the perfect thing for everyone in their audience, or they're going to make a ton of money. But if somebody like that can move 30 to 50 books times, 30 to 50 of those people, that's an extra 900 to 2,500. We're talking an extra couple thousand books from people that aren't even in my niche. That's a pretty big deal. The third thing you can do is ask your list. Now, I have a list of people who, most of you are affiliates. So when I say to you, hey, do you want to promote the book? Well, it's pretty, there's a pretty, like a one-to-one correlation there, right? Makes a lot of sense. What if you don't have a list of affiliates, right? Doesn't matter. Ask the people on your email list that follow you on social media if they'd like to be a part of your book launch team. An affiliate program for a book is basically a book launch team on steroids, all right? Gives them a chance to earn a commission for helping, to get the word out about your book. Those that follow you will jump at the chance to help you share your book and earn some money as an affiliate. And so with those, when you're on the book launch team, what we recommend is that, they buy the book, they leave a review, and they promote it. And we kind of separate those first two things from the third thing in terms of, expectations. Like if you're on the book launch team, there's no expectation that you're going to promote it. But if you want to, you can also be an affiliate and promote the book. There's tons of other places to find affiliates for a book launch, product launch, doesn't matter. Again, all of the principles. You can do that with the Amazon thing. Do that with a product launch. Hey, you have a product that's in the leadership space. Well, go find, go look up 5 books in the leadership space. Find out who promoted those books and go ask them to be an affiliate for your product. And one of the ways you can do it there is odds are your product costs substantially more. If you have a course, it costs substantially more than a $15, $20 book. So you can talk about that. Like, hey, it looks like you promoted this book. I have a course that's much deeper and, it's $1,000, it's $2,000. So you're going to earn, $500 to $1,000 in commissions, and you can position it that way. But there's tons of other places to find affiliates. If you probably heard me mention before, but my free report, your first 100 affiliates, I've got 15 places in there to find affiliates. Just go to mattmcwilliams.com/first100, FIRST100. You can download that report. I'll put that link in the show notes as well. All right, so what are the specifics? Because asking your friends, asking your list, even the Amazon and going to Google and typing in your competitors, those all work for everything. What are some of the specifics you need to do with book launches? The things I'm going to talk about now don't seem like they're initially about getting affiliates, but they impact getting affiliates so much that I want to talk about them in this episode, because if you don't do these things, you're not going to get the affiliates. And then we're going to talk about the specifics of running the affiliate side of the book launch in the next episode. So some of these, they kind of blur the line between, the front end, getting affiliates, and then the actual executing of the launch. But you'll see what I'm talking about as I talk about these, because you're just not going to get affiliates if you don't do these things. The number one thing you have to do is to set up a back-end offer. Right? In order to actually get affiliates to promote your book launch, you have to have a back-end offer that's reasonably priced and therefore makes them a reasonable, a decent commission, right? It could be a price point as low as $97. It could be $197 upwards of, $497. Reason is the affiliates don't really make anything on the book. When affiliates promote, say, a free plus shipping offer, or an offer where we're selling the book directly through, our website, we're selling the book for, free plus shipping, shipping usually paying, $7.99 to $9.99 for the shipping. When it costs about $7.50 to $9 to mail the thing, you're not making a commission as an affiliate. Even if we sell the book directly at $17, the publisher's taking 11 of that or 12 of that, you're not making anything as an affiliate. So we need to offer something on the back end as a part of the funnel. This is how affiliates actually get paid in a book launch. So on a free plus shipping offer, they'll go to the site, they'll enter their information, they'll pay the shipping, and then it'll immediately go into a funnel. Typically what we'll do is something that, maybe a workbook. Workbooks work great. Some sort of a audio course or a video course works great. Checklists, things that make the book easy to implement, faster and easier to implement. A journal could work great. A field guide, something we did with Mark Miller. A quick start guide. Could be things like that. And then it'll get progressively more. So you might have anywhere from a 3, so the book would be the first step, and then 2 more steps to a 4th step offer, just depending upon what they're interested in. So we set that funnel up, and then we pay 50% commissions on everything in that funnel. So think of the book as a low ticket paid lead magnet. Rather than having a free PDF or a free video, free webinar, it's a $7 to $15 lead magnet. And it's easy to do when you're controlling the flow. So a free plus shipping offer where you're selling all the books through your site. That's easy. You can still do this like we did with Mark Miller and I know we did this with Brian Tracy. I think we did this with Jeff Goins' second book that we did, if I'm not mistaken, where you purchase the book on, say, Amazon. It's where most people go, but we'll put links to like Barnes & Noble and Books A Million on there as well. You purchase the book, then come back to the site to enter your order number and email address to redeem your bonuses. We didn't get into this, but this is the big thing. What's the urgency to buy the book? What's the urgency to actually purchase the book? And we'll talk about this in the next episode where we talk about the importance of pre-orders and all that. But they enter their order number and their email address to claim the pre-order bonuses, and then it goes into the funnel. So it works either way. So number 1, you want to set up a back-end offer. Number 2, you want to drive traffic to an opt-in page, okay? So when someone clicks the affiliate link, they're sent to an opt-in page. They then opt in to get access to the book, whether it's a free book, a discounted book, or an early offer with bonuses. Affiliates are driving traffic to a page, right? So like with Jeff Goins' book, for instance, it said pre-order Real Artists Don't Starve and you'll receive, and the bonuses were like a 12-part video course, PDF downloads of all the interviews in the book, access to a private Facebook group. When they click the button and it pops up and asks for their name and email address, then it takes them to the payment page. This allows you to follow up with them if they don't complete their order, and that's key. And so again, we want them driving the traffic to. Now, if you're not doing that, if you're driving them to a page where they go to Amazon to buy and then come back to redeem it, that works as well. Effectively, it's what I just said. You drive them to that page, they leave, they go to Amazon, but they have to come back to enter their order number and email to claim their bonuses. So effectively, it operates as an opt-in page. The third thing that you have to do, and this is, again, how you track the affiliates, you got to have that upsell and you got to pay a solid commission. You want an offer, a first offer. I used to say 7%. You want to convert at least 7%. We've actually found we're getting much better. We're getting close to 10%, 11% on, with some of our offers, even 12% on a few. You want to convert at least 10% of the people who purchase the book into the first higher priced offer. You then want to convert roughly 20%, 1 in 5 of them, into the next offer. So if you do the math on that, let's just say let's say you do a free plus shipping and you charge $9.99, so $10 basically for the shipping. I'm just using nice round math. You should convert anywhere from 25 to 40% of the visitors to the page. So if an affiliate sends 100 people and you convert, we'll just go with 40 for a nice round number, convert 40 people of them into a paid purchase of the book. We should then convert 4 of them into roughly a $100 offer, which we're going to do a generous 50% commission. We're not going to try to skimp and do 40 on a book launch. So they should convert 4 people into that. Now, what's 20% of 4? It's technically less than 1, but let's just go with 1. We should convert 1 of them into, the purchase of whatever the next highest thing is, probably at, $297 to $497. So if they can drive 1,000 people, so, 350 books, We get, roughly 40 of them ish into the first offer and, 8 to 10 of them into the higher priced offer. The affiliates can make some good money, but this is the attraction. They only have to sell a book. Most people that are on email lists that are getting promoted to, whether it be in the entrepreneur space, the business space, the personal growth space, the gardening space, most people that go out of their way to subscribe to something and read blogs have bookshelves in their home. Okay. Most people have tons of books on their bookshelf that they've never even read. My point saying that is the $10 to $15, $17 purchase of a book is a very low barrier for most people on your list, no matter what niche you're in. We're not talking about a $1,000 course or a $2,000 course. So the barrier is really low. You don't have to sell real hard. You don't have to, write long form copy and convince them to buy the book. If you look at the landing page for Smart Leadership, there's probably less than 1,000 words on that page. Most of it's testimonials. It's mostly bullet points, headlines, and pictures. Why? Because it's a $17, $18 purchase. I don't have to convince you to pay 17 or 18 bucks. This is not a monumentally life-changing. It could change your life. That book could change your life if you read it, just as an example. But the purchase price is not life-changing, like a $2,000 course. I don't know what the average American makes per hour, but I know it's more than 15 bucks, and definitely more than 10. Whereas a $2,000, purchase for many people is roughly, half their weekly, that's like their entire weekly income. I was like almost half their monthly income. It's more than a week's income for most people. It's, they have to work for 7 days to earn that money versus maybe a half hour to buy a book. And so you get to promote as an affiliate a low ticket offer that can have a huge impact. My book's going to run about 280 pages. It's 280 pages of 17 years of lessons. I mean, for 15 to 20 bucks. It's crazy, right? And that's the advantage. So the thing is, you want to have those solid commissions on the back end so they can actually earn a lot of money. And then the fourth thing you want to do is make your commissions long. When you are doing a book launch, do not be cheap on cookie length. All right? This is not where you go 30 days, 90 days, 1 year or lifetime. If you're going to go 1 year, just go lifetime. Just go lifetime. When you offer a lifetime cookie, it's a great way to promote, your affiliate program, right? You say, hey, we have a lifetime cookie. Sounds a lot better than anything, even a 1 year cookie. Because here's the deal. 95% of all the purchases that are ever made are going to be made within a year anyway. 90% are going to be made within 90 days. But think about how much more attractive saying we offer a lifetime cookie versus a 90-day cookie sounds. It sounds like you're being cheap when you say 90 days. You're trying to keep me from earning money. Like I'm promoting your cheap book because it is. Again, anything under 20 bucks to me is just cheap. I'm not saying the value is cheap, but the cost is cheap. And so I'm promoting your cheap book. You can't even just give me a lifetime cookie. This allows affiliates who promoted your book launch and maybe didn't make a lot of money, make some money on the back end. Also, as an affiliate manager, somebody who's running your affiliate program, the advantage for you is they promoted your $10, $15, $20 book 2 years ago. They're still making money now. That means you're still paying them now, which means you're still reaching out to them every month with an email. If we talk about it, I talked about this like 25 episodes ago. You reach out to them with an email and say, hey, Frank, just want to let you know, just sent you another $317 in affiliate commissions. By the way, our big launch is coming up in 3 months. Do you want to be a part of it? And what better time to ask somebody to join your, to promote you than when you just gave them money? It's pretty big deal. Pretty big deal, right? So make sure that you give that lifetime cookie. If you, for some reason you really don't want to do lifetime, at least go 1 year. But again, you're going to give up an extra 3 to 7% in sales to be able to say lifetime. If that gets you one decent sized affiliate who otherwise wouldn't promote you, it was worth it. It was worth it. And I promise you it is worth it. I promise you in the long run, it's worth offering a lifetime commission. That's in general. So just do it. Don't question it. Just do it. I got a ton of resources for you today. I'm violating all of my marketing rules by offering you a bunch of links here. They're all going to be in the show notes. I already talked about, your first 100 affiliates report. Make sure you go download that. I've also got a specific training for authors, affiliate marketing for authors. I talk about, how to execute an affiliate book launch, everything that we talked about today, how to promote book launches. It's something we won't really talk about too much in this series, I don't think, but how to actually promote book launches and how to promote affiliate offers inside of your book, which we are going to talk about in an upcoming episode, but I've got more detail in these training videos. If you just go to mattmcwilliams.com/authors, you can download all of them. All right. All of the stuff in there. It's all of my best thinking on affiliate marketing for authors. Probably going to turn this into a paid course. We're probably sometime middle of this year, as we get ready for our book launch, we're probably going to turn this into a course. So I'd go get it now. And that's not me like doing the whole marketing ploy thing. I'm just saying we're probably going to pull it from free and turn it into more. These videos are a couple of years old. We're probably going to spruce it up, make it a lot fancier, and charge like $300 for it. So go get it while it's free and a little bit less fancy. And then also, if you want a behind the scenes look, I mentioned Jeff Goins' launch, the Real Artists Don't Starve book launch. This is like 5 years ago, but I did a private recap of that. And if you want to get access to that, if you just go to mattmcwilliams.com/RADS recap. So Real Artists Don't Starve, RADS recap. Again, that's in the show notes. You can download that or watch that video. Pretty cool little behind the scenes look that we did as a team about what that book launch looked like. So if you want to know all the nitty gritty, dirty stuff, go check that out. And then I mentioned earlier, the affiliate recruiting swipe files. We'll put a link in the show notes as well. And that post on how to recruit new affiliates that you don't even know, go grab those swipe files and use those swipe files to reach out to prospective affiliates.
So there you have it. How to find affiliates for your book launch, really any launch. As I mentioned at the beginning, go check out my book. We're in book mode here. The book on affiliate management, which is probably live by the time this episode airs. You can see that at affiliatemanagementbook.com. Affiliatemanagementbook.com. More than 300 pages of everything you need to run your affiliate program. Also in the show notes, we've got that affiliate marketing for authors training at mattmcwilliams.com/authors. We've got the behind the scenes recap of the book launch for Real Artists Don't Starve. That's from like 2016, but it's still relevant today. That's in the show notes. How to find your first 100 affiliates at mattmcwilliams.com/first100, and the affiliate management, affiliate recruiting swipe files, and the podcast that I did about how to recruit new affiliates you don't even know. All of those links, including the book on affiliate management, they are all in the show notes. Lastly, come back for the next episode. Make sure you hit subscribe because you don't want to miss these upcoming episodes. The next one's going to be all about how to run an affiliate book launch. You've got the affiliates, you've got these foundational things set up. What do you do now? And we're going to talk about that. Talk about how to actually run the book launch itself, the timelines, the specifics about what to do with your affiliates. So that's coming up in the next episode. So make sure you hit subscribe. And if you know somebody who can benefit from this, you've got a friend of yours, a family member who's an author, their book's coming out in a few months or a year from now, go tell them about this episode. Tell them about this whole series. Tell them to subscribe. And if nothing else, just listen in the next few episodes because they do not want to miss those, and neither do you. So make sure you tell a friend and hit subscribe yourself if you haven't yet. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening today. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing this episode, make sure to share it with them. And if you have a question, you can ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Questions make my best episode, and it's a great way to get featured right here on the podcast. And if you're loving what you're hearing, please take a moment to leave a rating and review. That helps others find this content so we can all benefit from it. See you soon.